Good morning, boys and girls.
Buenos días, amigos y amigas.
Let's start with our song. Remember, it starts, hi there, so glad you came. Hi there, so glad you came. Hi there, so glad you came. 1, 2, 3.
Let's shout hooray.
Hooray! All right, and our I love you ritual. This is one of my favorite ones that we do because you get to use all 10 of your fingers. You have 10 little fingers and they all belong to you. They are so wonderful. Look what they can do. We can shut them up tight. Shut them up tight. We can open them up wide. We can put them together and see what's inside. We can open them up and trace all the lines. And we can put them together. Yours matching mine. All right. The story I'm going to read you today is called A Whistle for Willie by Ezra Jack Keats. He also wrote the Snowy Day book we read a while back. And Peter is still in the story. He's the main character. There he is. Oh, how Peter wished he could whistle. Can you whistle?
It's fun to whistle.
He saw a boy playing with his dog. Whenever the boy whistled, the dog ran straight for him. Peter tried and tried to whistle, but he just couldn't. So instead, he began to turn himself around and around and around. He whirled faster and faster. When he stopped, everything turned down and up and down and around and around. He was very dizzy, wasn't he? Peter saw his dog Willie coming. Quick as a wink, he hid in an empty carton laying on the sidewalk. Wouldn't it be funny if I whistled, Peter thought. Willie would stop and look all around to see who it was. Peter tried again to whistle, but he still couldn't. So Willie just walked on. Who's Willie? The dog is Willie. Peter got out a carton and started home. On the way, he took some colored chalk out of his pocket and drew a long line. I like to do that with chalk. You could use your chalk and go outside and draw a long, long line, can't you? Look, it's still going. Right up to his door, and then he stood there and tried to whistle again. He blew until his cheeks were tired, but nothing happened. I love how Peter's not giving up. He keeps trying in all different places, right? He went into his house and put on his father's old hat to make himself feel more grown up. He looked into the mirror to practice whistling, but still no whistling. When his mother saw what he was doing, Peter pretended he was his father. He said, I've come home from work early today, dear. Is Peter here? His mother answered, Why, no, he's outside with Willie. Well, I'll go out to look for them, said Peter. First, he walked along the crack in the sidewalk, and then he tried to run away from his shadow. Have you ever tried to run away from your shadow on a sunny day? It's really hard. He jumped off his shadow, but when he landed, they were together again. He came to the corner where the carton was, and who should he see but Willie? Peter scrambled to hide under the carton. You can see his feet sticking out. He blew and he blew and he blew, and suddenly out came a real whistle.
He did it.
Willie stopped and looked around to see who it was. It's me, Peter shouted and stood up, and Willie raced straight to him. Peter ran home to show his father and mother what he could do. They loved Peter's whistling, and so did Willie. Peter was feeling proud of himself because he kept practicing and practicing, and finally he could do it. Peter's mother asked him and Willie to go on an errand together to the grocery store, and he whistled all the way there, and then he whistled all the way home. The end. So if there's something you want to learn how to do, I know some friends like to ride bike. That takes practice. It takes practice to learn to throw a ball or to kick in soccer, right? It takes practice to learn how to run really fast and how to whistle, right? Like Willie. So what's one thing that you want to practice? I'm going to write this down so I remember to ask you later on today. What's one thing that you want to learn to do like Willie?
You know, some of us are working on our names, our last names, some letters, probably riding a bike too, since it's getting nice out there. Lots of things you can practice, right?
All right, friends, let's sing. See you later. See you later. See you later when we meet again. And we can't wait.